My name's Vola.
I'm Sacrxfice.
And this is Behind the Producer.
I was going to say it at the same time as you, but I didn't hit it.
So my name's Vola, V-O-L-A. I'm a producer, songwriter, artist and studio engineer based in West London. What got me into music as a producer, my brother bought me a PlayStation game when I was little called Music 2000, and it was actually way ahead of its time. I had a piano roll, editor, all of that, some good sounds. Started to just work on a few things. I was always into music, started to play around with it, and then from there I was like, this is mad. Realised what could be done, and then linked up with a few local guys on that, and went to a local studio, and the engineer taught me how to use Cubase and Reason, and from there the rest is history really.
I'm Sacrxfice. I'm based in West London. I started producing at school when I was about 14. They let us use the computer labs, and obviously Logic was on there. I just started messing about really, and then from there the rest is history.
For me, the spark moment was probably, I used to start producing my own songs, like I said, working with a few local guys and local artists. I was writing and rapping as well, so made some songs and then sent it to one of my friends that was at uni, an older friend of mine. He circulated around his uni. This was like MySpace days, isn't it? And we went to perform at the union, and the crowd just went off. And I was mad young, I weren't even old enough to be there. But it was a lit event. The crowd was singing my bars louder than me. I didn't really understand it, and it was going off to the beat. And I was like, fucking hell. So I was like, man, this is crazy. Man made this, and the response I got was just something else. And from there, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a musician.
I struggle with this question, you know. I just need to think about it. Yeah, for me, the spark moment, yeah, there's a few really, like a few little times along the way. But I think the main thing where I knew I wanted to take this seriously was when I did music tech at college, and from there really learned how to produce properly and make actual decent tunes. And from there, it's just been like a passion, and I haven't stopped, literally. 100%.
Yeah, 100,000%.
But we was talking earlier, and part of the reason of that is they don't realise their value. That's one of the main reasons, because yeah, people undervalue themselves. I'd say, like, producers make the backbone of the track. They set the tone, like,
yeah, everything from the instrumentation. If you think about it this way, a song is 50% lyrics and vocals and 50% beat. Sometimes, you know, the beat carries the whole song. So if you're going to have an album without a producer, you're going to be listening to an album like Repellers, and no one can bop their head to that or get into any vibe or any mood. So that, plus all the background work producers do in the studio that doesn't get seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
Post-production,
a lot of work that goes into it.
Mixing, like all sorts of stuff. And I think when it comes to labels and artists, some of them don't really understand. They're just getting, you know, a track or a beat, an instrumental. Labels and stuff, they try and really push you right to the back as a producer, and they try and
back of the line to get paid,
yeah,
back of the line to get credited.
And I think that's another key thing. It's just like there's so much unknown territory, especially for producers out there, and it's really easy to get taken advantage of. And I feel like there's people in the industry that really prey on that.
A lot of sharks and a lot of snakes in it. That's what I always say.
Yeah, it's cold world. It was something where I thought I always wanted, from when I was like in my teens, I always thought I want to do something and set up my own business within the music industry, whether it's a studio, whether it's a production thing, whatever it might be. The studio was just something natural. I've been going to them for years, and I've been going.
You know the settings in it.
Yeah.
Didn't you work? You worked from from young.
Worked
as well,
in studios from a young age, so I was familiar with the settings. Something I'd taken time to learn and that I enjoyed, and also I thought, okay, cool. So how can I provide not in a rebate to no one, but a lot of engineers I was going to, they just weren't doing what they needed to do as an engineer, just pressing buttons. And
no passion in it, no care in the work.
So then I thought, how can I improve this and provide a service to people and earn a living from this instead of doing a 9-to-5 working for someone else, build something for myself and my family, and at the same time create a hub where I can bring artists to, bring all sorts of creatives to, and basically expand and just grow the team and provide more opportunities for myself and others, really.
Okay, well, I'm Logic. I can work on Logic 9, I can work on Logic 10. I know Logic 9 is old school, but it still does the job. Some of our recent releases, I produced a couple on Logic 9, I'm not gonna lie. And Vola's even got an even more interesting one, isn't it?
I use Logic as well. We both use Logic Pro.
Yeah. Logic Pro, shout out, give us a sponsorship.
Come on. Logic Pro, and I actually use Reason a lot. I know it's not really
Logic and Reason, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, trust me, man. Come on, you have to use them too. But obviously there's a lot of producers that use FL, and I think FL's come a long way.
FL's sick, I'm not gonna lie, but we just don't use it.
It's sick. When I started producing, FL weren't what it is today. So I naturally went to other things, and Reason is something that I've known like the back of my hand. Like I can make stuff in that other people would be like, how did you do that in Reason, kind of thing. And so
it's all about the workflow, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So quick workflow. But then I love Logic because obviously you could do so much more. The new versions of Reason I heard are really good. I'm still on the older one. I just been lazy and updating that.
Reason, shout out, Logic needs a sponsorship for that.
Come on, man. Throw that my way. I'll be happy with that. So, calm. I'll be getting that. But yeah, Logic and Reason is my two go-to. Strongest thing I'd say about Reason, again, this would be kind of my angle on it. It's just, for me, things are easy to get to, easy to find. I'm just used to working with certain of the racks on there and everything. The way that it's set up, it's quite different. But the thing is, you don't get VSTs and other plugins that for other sounds from other places. You can use so much unless you sample them in. That's where it's a bit restrictive. But I just find, it's again, like, I'm just used to it. But with Logic, you can just do so much more, like time stretching, pitch shifting, the way you can cut up samples and audio. You can, and
the plugins as well, obviously. Yeah, external plugins, all of that.
Like, mixing in on that is a whole different ball game compared to what, obviously, like I said, New Reason has got other capabilities, but the version I use Reason just to make beats. Logic I use for vocals, everything else. So yeah, it's just more.
Logic for the final product. Logic's.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It depends on the day. There's so many different tasks for us to do, so it's just sort of no day's the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of chopping, changing. We do a lot of stuff outside of just production as well. Whether it's just providing obviously studio services and stuff, some other stuff with management and other things. So every day it's like putting on different hats. So some days we might come in and say, right, we've got to do up this many collabs or this many tunes, whatever it might be.
Or this guy needs a pack. He needs that now.
We might get a phone call from someone saying this artist is looking for blah blah. So yeah, we literally might be planning to come in at 10 o'clock the next day and have to be like, nah, do you know what? We got to get out of bed earlier, smash the beats out. People jump on, start making some drums. I'll jump on the keyboard, start hitting up the melodies, basses, and then we'll switch. And then yeah, we just literally it's like passing the baton, as we say.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
give it that.
Yeah, it's constant workflow, man. Yeah. Generally, I know P goes to drums.
Yeah. I'm always drums first. I get a little loop down and then take it from there.
And I like that way of working because I was a bit more over here and over there. Like sometimes I get an idea for a melody and I think I need to slap this melody down.
But that works as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can build around it sometimes. Like sometimes I cut out melody or chords, and then even just like a light hat and a snare or a clap or something, and or kick and a clap, and start adding around it just to get the basics down. Really,
just to get the vibe there, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think.
But never bass first. That's one thing I'm gonna say. Never bass first.
Never. Whenever man do that, everything else sounds weird and difficult to put in tune, and it's just like obviously it's the lower tones and that carry the track in that sense. So yeah, the main parts, the melody.
Yeah, bass last. Bass last.
And if there's obviously with samples as well, sometimes you'll get a sample which you'll hear and automatically you can hear whether it's drums, whether it's bass or something else in your head. So you lay that down, then start laying all the other parts, and it just it's music, I guess, innit? So it's creative, so there's no one formula.
Yeah, there's no right way to do it.
Right, so
quite a few, innit?
Still,
a lot of the artists we work with, it's artists we've been listening to for a long time. So, I mean, that's always been a big achievement when you have a big session or a big release.
Yeah. So the Meeks Manny track, we had a track with Meeks Manny called Big Bag. That came out a few years ago. That
was our first ever placement. That's on like almost 3 million, I think, on Spotify now. So for us, that's a big achievement.
It's a win. There's working with artists like Ambush, Gigs, Back Row G. Like we were sitting there making a Back Row G type beat, and then within like a couple of weeks or something, he's in the studio.
It was the next day.
Nah.
Oh, beforehand,
yeah. So it's been crazy. I mean, like stuff like that where you visualize something and it actually what's
actualization, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And I think there's so many other achievements along the way. I mean, even certain artists we're working with now, the relationships we've built, and the network that we have around us now. And just looking back from where we started to now a few years ago, and it's like sometimes you really have to sit back and deep it.
Yeah, when you sometimes you think things are moving slowly, but when you take yourself out and you look at it, there's a lot to be proud of, definitely.
Types of artists we've had to work with, all types from, we generally obviously work with a lot of rappers, naturally, type of beats we make and stuff, but then we've worked with singers. I love working with like R&B singers, soul singers. There's something about vocals that's just, it carries you to a different place sometimes with certain types of songs. Also, I mean, in terms of, so what was the other part of the question?
But also types of artists you like. I like easygoing ones. I like it when the session is like enjoyable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's important.
Artists that like sometimes artists can be a bit closed off, or sometimes no names mentioned. Certain people can sometimes have a bit of an ego about them, or be a bit and each to their own. But it helps when you're open and friendly with the artist. You're trying to build that relationship. So as an artist, a producer, it's good to have that line of communication and be open with each other. Be flexible to like take suggestions on properly without getting offended, because I can be blunt sometimes, trust me. But it all comes to the game, man. Artists that we'd like to work with, I think
but obviously there's the one that everyone's gonna say, and that's Drake. Everyone wants a Drake collab, innit?
Of course, come on. I mean, UK artists and US artists got so many. I know for me personally, like influences from wide range, like Pharrell. I'd love to work with Pharrell, Kanye, artists like Bryson Tiller, R&B singers, and people like Chris Brown. So many people like that. But in terms of obviously the other side of things, like rappers, I think we both want to work with Skepta.
Yeah, Skepta's a big one for us. We're coming
on our hit list.
So next time,
trust me. Yeah, that cut's getting made.
Yeah,
trust me. But Skepta gets. Would love to work with Gets.
Going back to grime days, isn't it? Like legendary.
Grew up on as well. It's like there's certain, like I said, there's US artists, UK artists, but there's so many.
We could sit here for an hour and just keep
not even an hour.
10 hours.
I won't be here the whole freaking day. But I mean, sometimes you just get inspired, but you might have a moment where you think, wow, I'd really like to work with this person, or someone does something where it's just like, wow. That's why I said for real, because he always seems to surprise me, and it's just, do you know what I mean? So I'd love to see how that creative mind works and kind of try to obviously create something like that. But
there's loads, but we spoke about this before and just tried to find the tame ones, innit? So there's
there's some wild ones. Yeah, but I'm gonna check.
There's a couple we can't say on camera, innit?
Nah, but you know what? I kind of a bit of a weird experience, a bit of an odd one. It was just an artist that came to record. No one that you would have heard of, because I don't think they're doing music anymore. Probably best for everybody. But yeah, it's crazy. They basically came in and they wanted to record. They said, I've got this song, I've written different verses and things to the song, so I want to try some stuff out. So I was like, cool. So they laid a verse down, singing stuff, but it weren't really making sense. It weren't really in time, and I couldn't really understand what they were trying to do. But I thought, right, if you're hitting the right notes and right tones, let's try to work with it. And they kept muting the beat and recorded other verses, but they kept wanting me to play the verse in the background while they were recording a new verse. But they just kept recording different lyrics over the same part, and then they asked me to play all of it together, and it just sounded like, I can't even explain. I actually can't explain. Like my head was
what,
gone.
A beat and 4 or 5 different vocal takes,
all different lyrics, all trying to sit on top of each other. I had to stop the session. I actually had to stop the session and say, "This, I don't understand what you're trying to do. I'm sorry, but this, I can't help you with this." And that was odd. And I had to say, obviously, some people just.
There's a couple funny ones. There's the guy that wanted Vola to SoundCloud his vocal as well.
Yeah, so
that was quite funny.
Can you SoundCloud my vocals? I don't know what he meant by that all to this day. I think he meant mixing it, but yeah, it's just he was pulling out words from all sorts of places.
And the sandwich story is my favourite one, I think.
Yeah, so mention the artist's name. Lovely artist. They must have come to the session, and I had a sandwich for my lunch, and they must have just randomly gone, "Oh, do you mind if I have half of that?" And I got baffled, so I turned around and looked and said, "Half of what?" And it was like, "Oh, your sandwich." And I thought they was just having some sort of joke with man, but it was deadly serious still. And I thought, I'm a nice guy innit, so I ain't gonna let no one starve. So I said, "Yeah, go for it." Had half the sandwich, man, and there was half my lunch gone. 2-hour session. I was thinking, right, man, could have waited a couple of hours, ordered some food, but hey, yeah. So that was a bit of a random one, still having someone take half my lunch in the session. But
you got bullied, innit? You got bullied by the school, but
nah, bro, I'm just a nice guy still. Sometimes, you know what I mean? But as a female, just to let you know, so it weren't like some brother was asking man for half a month, but no, that couldn't run still.
But yeah, bigger up though.
Yeah, bigger up still, bigger up. You're a good artist still. I like working with you. That was just a random ass moment. Yeah, I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's 2 big ones at the moment, and that's Insta and TikTok. Really, as producers, like we spoke about this as a producer, to use the other platforms, you need to set up as an artist and do features with tracks. So that's the next step. But for now, it's really just Insta, TikTok, and then whatever platforms the artists use, isn't it? That's the main things.
Generally, I mean, obviously, things like YouTube channels and all of that type of stuff. But again, if we're working with a certain artist, then they're releasing obviously tunes we produce and stuff like that. That's where we push that on our socials as well. Send people to that and the streaming platforms. I need to jump on my TikTok game. I'm fresh to it, so yeah. I'll be uploading some stuff there soon.
Daily.
Yeah, I'll get onto it daily still. But yeah, IG, TikTok, and you'll see us popping up in loads of random places. Hopefully, real soon, because we've got a lot of stuff going on at the moment. So. Exclusives, to be honest.
Yeah. We used to do leasing, but it gets a bit complicated.
It's not complicated in the sense of actually uploading and doing things like that. But for instance, we've been in sessions with certain artists who, some of the bigger artists, that they'll say, "Has anyone else jumped on this beat?"
Or we've even had, "I've heard someone jump on this beat." Stuff like that.
It's so sometimes obviously it can rub certain artists up the wrong way, if that makes sense, or they might just
And
want
it's
something
just-
exclusive and custom for them.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, just business wise, it just gets a bit techie, innit? But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all kind of the angle you're trying to go for, I guess, and what's in front of you, and you know.
so that's why we tried to cut, even with our exclusives, we try to cut really affordable deals for the artists, depending on budgets.
Yeah, so
that's what we prefer.
So, you know, obviously there's label artists, there's smaller artists, all types. So we'll try and, you know, work out something that makes sense for them, considering everything else they're doing as well as an artist, and whatever makes sense for us. I think with the leasing thing, again, I know it works for a lot of producers, not playing it down because it is the sick way to.
It's sick. We know producers that are generating actual decent wage of
income,
like,
like
it's good.
a good living wage. And again, I would never say never. It's not like I'd never consider doing things, but it's just for what we're doing now and the artists we're trying to focus on. I feel the exclusive beats are what we're working on the most and trying to get across. Just a lot of things. So, well, we were talking about this earlier. We talk about this quite often, to be honest, in terms of like how much unknown stuff there is out there, and producers obviously know how to make beats and this, that, and the other, but the business side is just the jungle. And you've got, like we said earlier, there's snakes in the grass everywhere, the sharks out there. It's just like any opportunities people do get almost to not pay producers or give them their production credits, whatever it might be. It seems a lot of the time that they take that opportunity or whatever it might be. So learn the game, learn the industry and how your rights work as a producer, what you're entitled to. Register yourself to the agency.
Definitely register everything.
PRS, MCPS, PPL, whatever.
But it's a patience thing as well, isn't it? Like when we first went into this, I think we thought, yeah, you get one placement, that's it. After that, you're gone. Like, but that's not how it works.
Yeah, a million streams or whatever it might be. When you break it all down, it's not.
You need again. I don't want to put a dampener on things, but as a producer, to make serious money, you need to be getting serious streams, like just millions and millions. So you need to work hard, you need to be patient, and just
get as many cuts under your belt that you can, basically. And you know, literally every day you got to be making beats, networking, hitting up artists, chasing opportunities, speaking, trying to get links with labels, whatever it might be.
Network is your net worth, isn't it? They say it's the most important thing.
And just generally, and know your worth as well. Don't let people take you for a mug, because like I said, there's plenty of people that will try it, but you got to have thick skin, because there's going to be lots of ups and downs. And also have a steady day job or something that supports your income while you're coming up as a producer. Because
the first few years are going to be hard, like very hard.
This for a few years, and I'm telling you now, it's not been easy. And again, not to put people off, because I wouldn't be doing nothing else. I'll be real, but you know, it helps to have some backup money or some money coming in from somewhere, so you're not relying on your craft to bring in the money that you need to live while you're trying to develop the craft. The IGs and the socials, really.
IG and TikTok, Sacrxfice Music. It's with an X instead of an I.
And mine is at Vola_UK. That's VOLA_UK on IG and on TikTok as well. But give it a minute before you hit my TikTok up there.